So, hello, I'm Paul O'D of the MMA Opinion, and I'm joined on the line by Mike Beast Boy Davis, and he's coming to us live from Fight Island in Abu Dhabi as he fights next week against Mason Jones. How are you doing, Mike?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too bad at all. And how's the Fight Island experience treating you?
It's better than any other event I've been to so far. This is really amazing out here. The hospitality is beyond perfection. It's the best, literally the best.
Very good. And I suppose this kicking off your 2021, I do want to get into 2020 a little bit with you. I know you had a bit of a rough year. I've seen some stuff. Obviously, there was the two bouts with Giga Shikadze, which were postponed due to injury. And I
Yeah,
suppose I saw elsewhere that you had some other injuries, including getting hit by a car.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
you,
2020 started January 13th. I broke two of my ribs, and I couldn't train or do anything until March. And then when March came around, COVID shut the world down, so I wasn't able to go
yeah,
and train. So I got kind of heavy, up to like 184, 183. And then towards the end of April, they offered me a fight, and I was like, sure. And it was Giga, who else? And as at 145, so
yeah.
cutting down to 145 was quite a challenge. I was making weight, but I apparently had an infection in my cheek, and it was drying out my mouth and my body, so I had no liquid in my body, and the doctors
Yeah,
stopped me from cutting more weight.
of course. Yeah.
Uh, After that, I got sick, like super sick. Don't know if it was COVID because I never tested positive, but yeah, I was in bed for like a week or so, and then just felt terrible for another week. Right after I felt good, got hit by a car.
Oh,
Um,
Jesus.
I'm
How did
starting
that
to
come
heal up.
about?
Now I was riding my bicycle down the beach, and I went to go cross over, and a car just smashed into me, T-boned me, and that messed up my arms pretty bad, both my arms, my shoulders,
Yeah.
and so I was able to run. So I ran a ton, like 45 miles in a week, and I was just running all the time, and eventually tore my meniscus from running so much. So
So
it's
safe
been
to,
kind
safe
of
to say 2020 wasn't your year.
no, it was not. It was the worst year I've ever had in my life.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
and not to pile on, but looking at, I suppose, your opponent, your match against Giga Shikadze early in the year, and again later on, I suppose. But looking at the year that he did have in the featherweight division, is it a little bit of a bone of contention that you'd like to get that fight, seeing as the
no,
momentum he's built up?
no,
You wouldn't take anything away from it. You're just
no. It's whatever.
yeah. I suppose moving on to the bout you do have next week, it's Mason Jones, which obviously I'm from Ireland myself. We're fairly familiar with Mason from the Cage Warrior scene, and he's coming with a lot of hype. Do you feel this is an opportunity to get some eyeballs on you and your skill set going in against someone that's highly touted?
Uh, sure. I never really gave it too much thought. I just, with 2020 being so bad, going into 2021, I didn't want to be sidelined for so long.
Yeah,
So I just took a fight, and any name they gave me, I just said yes. It really didn't matter who it was.
yeah. And
So then,
is lightweight somewhere you see yourself hanging about?
no, I'm gonna be here for maybe one or two fights until they can get the saunas open to the public again.
Yeah,
Whenever that happens, if that can happen, because without a sauna, I probably can't make 45. So
yeah.
that's why I'm sticking to 55 at the moment.
So the plan is to go down to 45 eventually.
Yeah, I'll probably go back to 45.
No problem.
45 is just it's not a hard cut for me. I don't walk around very heavy.
Yeah.
Um, so if I was to stick at 55, I would need to gain a lot of muscle, a lot of mass, and be an actual 55er.
Yeah, I do see you took the Thomas Guilford fight on 4 days' notice at lightweight, so it's obviously an easy cut for you to get the lightweight.
It's super easy.
Yeah. Just a couple of things that I've noticed. You've described fighting as dancing before, but you've also described it as murder chess before.
Yeah.
They're quite two different views on the sport. And I know obviously there's a bit of a juxtaposition there. What makes you believe it's like dancing?
Because We're in the spotlight. It's kind of like a duet
Yeah.
where you do your thing, I'll do my thing, or we kind of do it at the same time where everyone's kind of watching us and our rhythm, our movements, our body language is all part of a dance.
Yeah. Very true. And murder chess. Do you want to talk me through
Murder
that one?
test. So that one's you're locked in a cage with someone who is literally trying to kill you. He's trying to choke you to
Yeah.
death. He's trying to break your body parts. He's trying to knock you unconscious. And without the referee, technically you die, right? He
Yeah.
beat you until you died. So the referee is stopping it from becoming murder, and it's just a knockout at that point.
Yeah.
Now, the chess part of it is the fact that you have to be steps ahead. You got to know what your opponent's planning. You got to know his game plan, where he wants to go, why he wants to go there, what he's planning to do, and you got to capitalize and counter that and take him down.
Yeah. And I suppose, look, for you, fighting was never. I've seen you say it before that fighting isn't exactly something you loved. You enjoyed the training and you enjoyed the camaraderie of being
Yeah.
in the gym, and fighting for you was just the job aspect of it. Um,
Yeah.
and you said you got into it from being undersized as a child. What do you think was the turning point that, as opposed to just being a job, that this could be a career and a kind of a legacy career?
I started thinking about it as a career after like my second pro fight, um, where I I I won after taking the kid down so hard that he went to post and all my weight dislocated his shoulder.
Nice.
And after that, I just figured that I was decent enough to become something of it. So I kept going and I kept training and I started thinking about it, taking it seriously. Then I got to the contender series, and then I really thought like I'm under the UFC banner, so I might as well become a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Like actually do this. And I lost that fight, but I
Yeah.
learned a lot. I learned what it takes to be in the UFC.
And did you feel like losing that contender series fight? Did you feel like you'd missed an opportunity, or that you'd put yourself back, uh, more steps back than you'd gained forward?
Yeah, I definitely put myself back. Um, don't really take fights the way I probably should if I was thinking about it as a career. I still don't.
Yeah.
People take the time to sit down and study their opponents 100%, but I just like to get in there and showcase my skill set, do what I know I'm good at.
Yeah.
I'm definitely,
I have a
I'm definitely,
go on. Sorry.
no, go ahead. No, I'm definitely more of a grappler, but I like to strike. So anybody I get in the cage with, I'm probably going to just stand up and strike with you the whole fight.
Yeah. I have a quote here for you from Eric Thomas. I want to let you to tell me what this quote means to you. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
Yeah, that that was the quote I watched um, leading up to my fight against Channing Williams, my third pro fight,
Yeah.
and I watched that whole thing over and over and over, and that's kind of what gave me the switch to become what I am now.
Yeah. And USA Today as well, shortly after your Thomas Guilford fight, picked you as one of the 20 fighters who could become stars in the 2020s. Now, obviously, being that 2020 was a bit of a wash, and look, with COVID and everything, 2020 was a bit of a wash for more than most. Do you feel like 2021 is the starting point of this, that we're going to see a rise of a new star in the both featherweight and lightweight divisions?
Yeah, yeah, because this is a year that I can actually start to hone into what I'm supposed to be doing, and hopefully this all blows over, at least gets a little better, and I'm able to stay healthy because I know that's the main thing. To be able to fight, you got to be healthy, and
Yeah.
if I stay healthy, I'm definitely gonna fight way more often. Yeah, I'm looking this year to fight probably 4 times. I would love to fight 4 times.
Very good. So that would it be 2 at lightweight, you reckon, and maybe 2 at featherweight?
Probably.
Very good. And with the win here next week, what would you like next? Is there an opponent in mind, or is it just continue to grind and kind of continue to get opponents in and around your own ranking?
It's kind of just that ladder. I'm not one of the people who's trying to just skyrocket to the top. I want to enjoy what the UFC is as a career instead of trying to boast myself and end up hurting my situation.
Yeah.
I mean, like anyone can take fights. Kevin Holland, he's out there making waves right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, if that's the kind of way I can do it, then yeah, I'll do it exactly like that. But he's taking fights that are up the ladder. He didn't go this fight and then right to Jacare, who's up in the top. He beat
worked
four
his way
people.
up. Exactly.
I want to do that.
Yeah. And I suppose just touching on the Mason Jones fight again, obviously Mason Jones is known as he's an all-rounder, but mostly an explosive striker. Obviously that fits into your own style. Do you like to stand and bang with people? But like if you look back at your record and even your amateur record in particular, there are a lot of submissions and you like to snatch arms. Is that something that we might see in this fight from you?
No, I just go wherever the fight happens.
Take it as it comes.
Yeah, it's pretty much take it as it comes. I'll definitely stand and strike, but most of the people, I mean, whenever you get tagged, you resort to wrestling. It's just how it happens.
Yeah.
It happened to me in the same fight, and I took him down, but he was went a little wobbly. It's a little hard to hold on to people. That was the first time I got rocked, so it was different.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I suppose, look, I don't want to keep you too long. I know it's quite late over there. So before we go, tell us something we don't know about Mike Davis.
I know a lot of people don't know a lot about me. I'm completely colorblind. I was born colorblind.
Colorblind?
I'm one of those. Yeah, I don't see. I had so much trouble seeing colors growing up, and then like the mind is so strong, and I took a lot of classes to help me differentiate shades of gray into colors. So now I'm able to say like that shade of gray is actually a purple, and it's like instantaneously. So I can look at that purple wall and be like, yeah, it's purple.
So you've learned to kind of overpower the different shades, and geez, very good. And that obviously doesn't affect your fighting career in any way, no?
No, because I have 20/10 eyesight.
Oh yeah, so you've pretty good eyesight. It's just colors.
Yeah, it's just the colors.
Would that actually block out? I suppose, like obviously there's no audience at the moment. Maybe next week there's 2,000 people. But would that in a sense block out backgrounds for you?
Not necessarily. Especially when you're in the cage, you don't really see anything besides the one person in front of you.
Yeah.
It's kind of just all blur and then him.
Yeah. Very good. We're learning all the time. And listen, we massively appreciate you coming on. I know, like I said, it's quite late over there, and we appreciate you taking the time out. And we wish you the best of skills next Wednesday.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Do you want to give any shout outs before we go?
Not this time.
You're a tired man.
So many people that helped me out. Yeah, I'm kind of tired.
Yeah.
But let's call it a night today.
No problem at all. And as I said, best of luck next week, Mike. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Sorry it took so long to get on here.
No problem.